Hey guys, Tyrip here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We are on Mill Road. Today's pointing in the north. We have Findeed playing as Ostheer, who has Mechanized Assault, German Mechanized, and Spearhead. From the south we have JibberJabberJobber playing as US Forces, who has Armour Company. In terms of rankings here, Findeed currently rank 17 and Jibber rank 3 as US Forces. So early aggression here from Findeed coming out to this side with his machine gun and Grenadier. Getting a bit rowdy. He's capping up the bottom with the Pyos. Don't often see this kind of split with the Pyos so far away from the machine gun. You know, extra sight range on the Pyos makes it so much easier to position that machine gun and catch your opponent unawares. And Jibber's taken aback by that MG positioning as well. I mean, it seemed to work for the moment, but about to lose a bunch of territory down this side of the map with all the riflemen rotating across. Another Grenadier about to pop out for Findeed, but he's about to lose a lot of ground over here. And meanwhile, Jibber getting in the center, wiring all this stuff off, so setting himself up for some later successes is Jibber, but didn't go for any assault engineers, which is always a bit of a shame when going for Armour Company. Do quite like a squad of those. Mine planting is so valuable. It's a decent map for them as well, you know, where there's quite a lot of heavy cover around the center. The flamethrower can really show its strength. And with all these like sight blockers close to the center as well, you're not constantly feeling like you're charging over open ground to get in range like you do on some other maps. But fourth Grenadier coming in for Findeed. He's capping up the far fuel point. Meanwhile, Jibber charging ahead, forcing away the Grenadiers. The low health rifle peeling off to do the capping. The other two looking to stay aggressive. MG coming back, setting up here on the cutoff. Not much he can do about this. The Echelon having their tank trap turned against them here. Lieutenant though has a good matchup against the Grenadiers. Trying to soft retreat to the heavy cover, but even if they run all the way back there, the Lieutenant just chasing them, hounding them. MG coming up now. Good bait here for Findeed. Jibber tries to backpedal. This burst only a short one. The second burst ends up getting the suppression done. He's out of range. That squad didn't take a huge amount of suppression. Might actually be able to recover from that. MG, yeah, there it goes. And hot pursuit, but wow, he actually retreated there. Maybe worried about getting wiped by the extra Grenadiers that were arriving, but he has to worry about this rear echelon. It's more at risk, down to 2 models, low health. So some good movements there from Findeed, some nice baiting with the squads into the machine gun. We've got a 50 cal out meanwhile from Jibber. Guards the cutoff nicely there. You've got the heavy cover squad there as well. Nice defences. Bayonet trying to work its way in here for Findeed. Very quick reactions from Jibber jumping out of the heavy cover though. Here comes the machine gun. MG switching sides here for Findeed. I've been doing alright from that range, but MG, this is some risky stuff from Findeed. Runs past the arc looking to set up. 50 cal does have a slightly better setup time, but it was packing up at the exact moment. Rifle nade out. Oh, good spread on the models. Doesn't take much damage from that at all. Oh, he's ended up getting forced off by the double rifleman there as well. They weren't dropping models. So overall, pretty successful attack here from Findeed. He's shutting down the territory control. A lot of low health riflemen as well, so doesn't have healing. And going straight for the Stuart.
Capture point is under attack.
The MG movement was a misclick. Oh, there you go. The idiot savant.
The supply line just got cut off.
Good rifle nade. Oh, straight into the D crew, even while suppressed there. And I think Jibber has a trick to crew those with the officer model. Doesn't look like he did it there. Rifleman still staying relevant, you know, they're just out here chilling. Catch the machine gun. We can see Findeed having gone for the 4 green start. Slow getting his light vehicle out, slow getting his tech down as well as Pies were on the field for such a long time. Gonna still go for the 222 first, interesting. Ambulance now in the build for Jibber.
Our opponents are seizing a sector. We are ready.
Relatively early medics there for Findeed as well. Ooh, close call. Do get away alive though. Stuart coming around to the north. A lot of sight blockers up here. Can easily get fausted. He's come up here and collected the med crate that's hidden up here. Stuart repositioning. Okay, locking into mechanized assault. A little bit unexpected. Certainly too late to be building assault grenadiers, but we're going to see some Stuggy action. Now we're going to maybe see just some light artillery barrage tiger combo. 2 forced away by Stuart there immediately. He is outnumbered 2-on-1, but here comes the Flame of Pio. Jibber trying to backpedal. He's very low with that squad. He does have the healing. He might just retreat right now. Try to save that manpower. I'll try to fight this for a little bit longer. We do have the pack on the field now for Findeed. Does have that pack build time bulletin, so getting that out 50% faster. Couple good hits in there from the Stuart. And the rifleman advancing. Did indeed retreat with that 5 model low health unit. Rotation of the Stuart. Ooh, that's just about at 1-shot risk, but you see Jibber didn't continue to chase. He kind of stopped there for that shot. And that does allow the 222 to escape. Maybe if he kept the momentum, the pathfinding was good. He might have been able to stay in range for 2 or 3 shots there. Might not have wanted to chase for that far, worried about an anti-tank gun perhaps. Anyway, 222 does survive. Don't want to be clumped up on light cover against the Stuart, so good timing to retreat there. Not going to be able to cap that. And there we go, LMG popping for Findeed. He's got the pack coming around the corner here.
Weapon rack is now accessible.
Bit of attack groundwork there. Oh, suppressed. Can jump into the building. You do recover very quickly from suppression inside a building. Just hiding out there for the moment. Trying to maybe bait the Stuart around the corner. The pack is a little bit too far away. I'm not going to be able to connect for damage. Meanwhile, the rifleman getting up to some shenanigans down here, but shut down by that machine gun. There we go, the pack wheels into position, gets 1 shot through. And the second. Really good accuracy there for Findeed. Great start for the pack work. Looks like Jibber's got some bars. Sounds like double equipped bar on that 1 squad of rifles. We have the faster repair times, of course, with the elite and vehicle crews, helping with the downtime. You can see that the rifleman, without the weapons, kind of leading the charge. Seems to be soaking most of the damage, which is nice to do. Now backpedaling to do some capping, staying out of harm's way. Jumping into the sniper's nest here. Seemed to take a long time to get in there. But 222 doing some pretty nice damage while they were on the ground. Okay, getting a light AT mine up here. Briefly starting up a tank trap, but then cancelled. Slight VP disadvantage at this point for Jibber. Couple more bars coming through. Oh, triggers that mine. Got a 50 cal nearby, but we need the steward over there to pressure that effectively. So 3 squads now with a lot of bars for Jibber. A slightly late retreat here for Findeed. Oh, it looks like he's going to get punished. The bar is doing some big damage. The pack on the other side of the map still. Ooh, and he does indeed go down. Hanging about there a little bit too long. Actually, an unusual choice here. Gone for some Panzer Grenadiers. 50 cal getting forced away by the 222. The Stuart switching sides. Pack at a good angle here to cover the retreat. Making it nice and safe. Interrupting the sandbags there with the bars. P-Green's charging ahead, but those are Vet 2 riflemen. They were performing pretty well. Good damage in from the pack though, close to Vet 1 on that. Grenadiers going to jump inside the building here, get a nice flank on that squad. Jibber soft retreating away. Second 50 cal rolling onto the field for Jibber meanwhile. Setting up at a very awkward angle. Rifleman looking to round the corner, get a snare off. Findeed was pulling back though. So, engine crit, but not at risk of death. Good hit in there from the Stuart, returning to the front lines, not fully repaired, looking to force off the P-Greens. And there is indeed going to be some Stug-E action from Findeed. Thinking about going after the P-Greens, but good time to disengage the chase. This is a little bit risky, this is a pretty common mine spot. But recall when the echelon were over there sweeping last. Made out. Machine gun pretty well spread out. Should be connecting for some damage as well. Could be a health damage in there. And this can be a bit of a weakness for these lieutenant style builds. Often don't have access to the anti-tank gun unless you've gone for airborne. Stuart does okay, but not incredible. Doesn't have enough penetration to really be reliable against the Stug-E. Probably has the edge in the head-to-head just because the Stug-E's gun is quite unreliable in anti-vehicle fighting. But when you add the pack in, definitely swings it in favour of the Ostheer player most of the time. This is a decent map though. You can, avoid pack a bit better on this map than some of the others.
Enemy contact. Where are they coming from?
Go for a bit of a flank, but the squad inside the building will see that coming. Here comes Stug-E. In these situations, you do want to go for attack round. Looks like that was what Findeed was doing, expecting the rifleman to charge into that shot. Pretty good follow-up hit there, coming in from the side. Will run into the machine gun. No, gets around the side of it. Good reactions from Jibber. Anti-tank gun coming across. Stug-E doing some good work there. Pack lining up now. Connects once and can't afford to hang about that Stug-E. He's just doing too much damage even though he's in the heavy cover. I think a light AT mine getting triggered there. Trying to close the distance, looking for a snare, not going to be able to get there though. Instead focusing on the AT gun, hoping for the D crew. Not quite enough damage though at that range. 50 cal a little bit awkward at the moment. Oh, whoa, okay. Pack was there. Ooh, close call. Knocks out the 222 that was very deep in enemy territory. Stuart gets out alive, well done. By the way, how did this happen? How did this get so low in health? I didn't notice that. Maybe that was what the 222 was actually doing. Looks like it was a base dive actually. Okay, well, wasn't paying close enough attention to that. M10 though, arriving at a good timing. So this is a decent option. Does arrive faster than a Sherman, being a lot cheaper in terms of fuel costs. So allows you to fight at a longer range. Avoid return fire from those anti-tank guns. Not as long range as the Jackson though, of course, so still challenging. M10's up here. Maybe going to look for some crushing shenanigans. Sides against it though. Crawl around the side of the machine gun, but LMG Grandy's there as well. Here come the double packs. The Stuart has to be very quick to pull back here. And is. Rifleman doing some spotting there. And the bar rifleman getting a nice position coming around the corner. Indeed, having to pull back. Didn't go for the double stuggies that we quite often see. Instead, taking up, getting his battle phase down. In position now to build a Panzer IV if he wants. And that's exactly what he's going to do.
Get ready, guys.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Oh, looks like maybe he did crew it with the officer. So it's got the Thompson models. I don't know if it's... I don't know if that's actually that good. I mean, the Thompsons are very good at close range, but, you know, oftentimes... Maybe against OKW is better, but against Ostheer, you know, most of the time they've got the LMG Grenadiers. If they flank you, they're often not charging into close range. They're just beaming you from a distance, so the Thompsons maybe not as good as the Durands in that scenario. Okay, so Major equipped with double Zooks as well as the re-echelon. No, they just have one bazooka at the moment. I think it's generally preferable to go the other way route, but not a huge deal. Oh boy, where are the Fausts? No Fausts, here they come now. There's the engine critical, Panzer IV arriving, getting on the rear armor as well, big damage. Stuart coming up here, going to activate the shell shock. Panzer IV missing a crucial hit. Now getting shell shocked. And that's going to keep the M10 alive here. The anti-tank gun's rotating through this angle instead of through the center. Panzer IV backing away, not taking an engine crit.
We are losing a sector.
Stuggy forcing this away, and again, Jibber has been quite active getting a few of those light AT mines down. Stuggy coming in, hoping for the kill shot here, just missing. Good attempt though, nice attack groundwork. Panzer IV, meanwhile chasing away this rifle squad up here. And not fully repaired, but returning to action. From that health threshold though, probably will take an engine crit from just the one snare. Looking for the attack ground shot on retreat as well. Good attempt from Findeed. Active with that Striggy. He's gone for a second Pio now as well. Faster repairs. What did he do with the sweeper as well, since he's just accidentally triggered so many of those light AT mines, you have to be worried about them now. Looks like there might have even been a light AT mine on the base doorstep as well, assisting against that 222 dive. Anyway, we've got the Bulldozer Sherman out now. Looks like he's going to swap vehicle crews into the M10. This is one of the scenarios where I am actually a pretty big fan of swapping the vehicle crews, because at Vet 1 on the bulldozer you get access to its barrage ability, and I think that's really important for it. Otherwise you just end up taking so much damage from the packs, constantly trying to be, you know, coming into close range to do damage with the gun. So being able to just have the barrage immediately without having to allow the packs to vet up shooting at you does make a big difference. Jibber kind of on the back foot, as can happen with US forces. You're constantly bleeding to those LMG Grenadiers, long range. Have to contend with the double AT guns. It can be an awful feeling. Rifleman firepower. Might be able to get a decrew on one of these. M10 is nearby, still pretty healthy as well. Could come around the corner for some Panzer IV damage. Instead comes through this channel. Gets one shot off, but now exposes himself to some pack return fire. Gets out of there, but still takes one hit. Because from this side it would have been much safer. Might have even been able to hang around for like 2 shots for getting out of there. So a lot of repairs required now for Jibber. Second Panzer IV in the build for Findeed. A telemine coming up as that. Yeah, it's one of the... Oh. Saw the mine getting planted there and able to attack around it. It's one of the problems with the bulldozer Sherman as well. It's quite slow compared to the regular Sherman, so if you are taking damage from the AT guns, it reversing out of harm's way takes so much longer. So even though it does have more health and more armor than a regular Sherman, oftentimes it kind of doesn't really matter. You just end up taking that extra damage since it's so slow. It doesn't manage to dodge away in time. I'm seeing a bunch of retreats down here. Got the sweepers out here, spots that telemine. Good sweeping work there from Jibber. Trying to attack round it down, but missing all sorts of shots at the moment. 50 cal though, nice suppression coming in from the side. The pack though also getting some damage done. The bazooka there, oh boy, the M10 spinning around. Having some pathfinding issues, getting jammed by the machine gun. The Panzer IV looking for the kill shot now. Do outrange the Panzer IV with the M10. Panzer IV gets vet, pops the blitz. Again, bad pathfinding. Jibber's just consigned to his fate here. Getting a little bit overwhelmed. Coming out to the side here, the blitz wears off. 50 cal gets decrewed by the LMG Grenadiers amongst all this as well. Stewart trying to salvage the situation, but not going to be able to get there in time. So it works out really well. Oh, there he goes. Shell shock, but the pack, don't know how he had vision, gets the kill shot. I think it was a bit ambitious, you know, maybe if you get on the rear arm of the Panzer IV, you could get the kill there, but chasing from that range, I think it was a bit too risky from Jibber. Pays the price, and now he's very low on VPs as well. He's really been struggling on victory points. Haven't really got much of a chance for this Sherman to show its strength. I know it says it's got 6 kills, but I think a lot of those were from when it was still the Stuart's vehicle crew. And, you know, kind of a problem with the bulldozer, maybe the same as like the KV2. The Brumby as well, some, maybe to a slightly less extent, but you know, you often come through, do a shot, do a lot of health damage to the squad, but then you don't actually like kill that many models, so the manpower bleed you apply is just not that strong, whereas just like regular medium tanks, you know, with their main gun hits, they certainly have a lot less AoE, but they just get those model kills. So you end up bleeding your opponent more. A lot of those, like, you know, bulldozer, Sherman, Brumbear shots rely on you being able to get 2 shots off, which quite often it's not possible. Maybe except with like the bunker buster. It's quick to retreat. Build on the Grenadiers, meanwhile from Findeed. Turn round in the corner here. The major artillery dropped down, but not hitting too much. No dodge at all from the machine gun, but the shells have quite poor scatter. This is kind of a bit of a problem with Armour Company. You know, we can see that the bulldozer not really doing too much. The M10's like fine, but it's not incredible. And you have a lot of trouble, you know, staying out of the range of the double packs compared to the Jackson. And then your late game, you know, this 240mm artillery is not really worth its cost. Decent damage in there from the barrage, but here come the 2 Panzer IVs. So you don't have like a light artillery barrage, which is so good at forcing away anti-tank guns quickly. 240mm just doesn't have the same sting. Such a long lead time before the shells start to land. And then they're not very reliable when they do start coming down. Jibber making a real effort to hold on to the VPs now. Indeed, so far ahead in that department. Made out, but still has that heavy cover working nicely. Cheeky attack round that worked there from Jibber. 50 cal going to backpedal a bit, maybe hope to expose the Panzer IVs to some anti-tank fire if they want to force us away. A bit of damage in there. Lieutenant does eventually get forced off and nearly even killed by a second squad coming in. Looks like Jibber did manage to recover that machine gun, by the way, so that's good news for him. Good damage in there from the bulldozer. AT guns back at base actually healing, so bulldozer able to stick around and nearly gets the wipe on that Grenadier. Indeed, playing with fire. You have to remember the Grenadiers do have a received damage bonus at Vet 3, so they're less likely to die to those tank shots. So just the Brumbear is providing there. In fact, probably would have died in that health threshold if it wasn't for that received damage bonus. Perhaps another reason why bulldozers are not that strong, specifically against Ostheer. Vetted up packs now a real menace. Nothing providing sight. Takes some damage. Oh, this could be risky. Packs setting up. Firing off some smoke here, trying to escape. Pretty successful escape as well. Some story for those Grenadiers getting away there. And 10 down the bottom here, maybe looking for a cheeky flank. Bazooka's charging ahead. And 10 is coming in. He knows that the packs are on the other side of the map. He's looking to exploit this. Oh, getting a bit of crush action there. Grenadier's very low. One model left. He's jumping out the vehicle crew. This is risky business. Jumping back in. Something you only really do with Armour Company, since they have the Thompsons, the vehicle crew. Otherwise, the grease guns are atrocious. But the Grenadiers can't crew the tank here. It requires 3 models to crew a tank. So it's pretty safe to do that in that scenario. If you expect absolutely nothing else to be coming.
A capture point is under attack.
A bit of damage in there from the bulldozer. But again, their packs striking. Maybe there's the Panzer IV, in fact.
Swing the gun. They're on the flank.
Second M10 out now for Jibber. Some attack ground work missing though.
Losing a capture point.
He's been doing much better on the VPs, still quite far behind though. Findeed has a bit of room in his army for maybe one more unit. He's a little bit lower on model counts. You can maybe squeeze in like a Stug. It's like right about there. Since you drop a model. Could be pretty handy against the M10s. It looks like Jibber going to go for a Scott now. Which I think is also a reason why the Bulldozer doesn't see much action, because you get it like a Scott for half the price. Still have, you know, maybe even better results.
Armour here.
Especially since that last patch. A bit of fatigue setting in for both players here. Things seem to have slowed down a touch. We're going to be close to his limit after this Scott hits the field. M10's missing wildly here. Oh, where's this Bulldozer going? Risky maneuvers. T-guns coming in from a couple angles now. Findeed's starting to split them, but this one a little bit exposed. Going for a couple floaters here. Setting up. Losing vision. Jibber had munis. He maybe could have barraged this pack down here, but uh-oh. Tiger weak point active. Bulldozer in some trouble. The M10 here, but bouncing that shot. And missing that shot. Boy, he's not having much luck with these M10s, is he? So many misses. The gun stats are basically identical to the Stug. You wouldn't guess it from their performance so far this game. Which means I think they're like, what, 170 penetration far range against the 180 armor of the Panzer IV. It doesn't have skirts at least. Such a high chance to penetrate. Ooh, okay, there we go. Findeed getting a miss this time. The light artillery barrage down as well. M10 coming in from the side. Got the Scott. Got an advanced position here. Findeed getting a bit of a push cooking. He's trying to turn up the VP pressure here as well. Lieutenant charging through the center. Wow. I think the M10 bouncing there is crazy bad luck. But the Stuggy is not paying attention. One more shot from the N10, but looks like Findeed's losing the AT gun. There's too much happening at once. Same story for Jibber. He just drove forwards a little bit there. Could have got the kill on the Stuggy, but hasn't managed to do so. Okay, there we go. Bit of bazooka damage. M10 going to take a Faust. He cruised the anti-tank gun. Going to turn that against Findeed. Second anti-tank gun down though. Was there some smoke there that we couldn't see? Not sure how Findeed got completely overrun. Panzer IV's coming in, looking to finish off this M10 while it's wounded. Do have the pack there. Gonna kick for another Faust, try and reduce the shots to kill, and there it goes. Pack pulled back a little bit too far for Jibber. Not able to return fire there. This AT gun does get outright destroyed, but Findeed had so many resources in reserve. Instant call in on the Tiger after those losses. And this is something that M10 can struggle against. He pops the AP ammo, anti-tank gun come around the corner. Findeed back on the capture here. Bazooka's doing their best. Oh, there they go though. Pack needs one more shot. Maybe, yes, he does get it. Tiger in close range, but that M10 from out the back actually doing some big damage. The squad coming in, looking for the snare here. Indeed has to get out. He's worried about getting killed. M10 does outrange the Tiger by 5 range at this stage. Bulldozer charging ahead. Hard to milk this 5 range advantage, but Findeed Oh, he gets the Faust off. M10 should still be fast enough. I think he still needs 2 shots to kill the Tiger with the M10. Maybe like another anti-tank grenade and a M10 shot would do the trick. Oh, here come the bazookas. M10 coming in. Has a 4, stops for accuracy and abandoned. Meanwhile, bazookas coming in and they finish the Tiger just before getting suppressed. Drops the artillery out the back there. He does have the pack able for recrew, but no units there. Alright. Well, Jibber salvaging that. Really needed that Tiger kill, and he got it. Now, if we take a look at army sizes, you can see it's actually very similar between these two. Findeed does have a bit of extra resources in the bank, but very tight contest. Of course, Jibber so low on VPs. And you can see Findeed really focusing on that at the moment, coming out to the far side. Making life hard over here. Bulldozer going for its barrage. Look at the scatter on that though. The scatter on it is much worse than the bunker buster for the Brumbier. I think the Brumbier has a guaranteed accurate first shell, which the Bulldozer does not. Which makes a big difference in the amount of damage it typically does, but okay. Findeed a little bit late to retreat. Machine gun ends up going down. Grenadiers though in the south trying to complete the capture, but the Scot and the Rifleman denying the opportunity. Still a few more points ticking away. Gets the steal though. Back there for the crew. Jimmy hasn't found time to achieve it though. A Strug out now from Findeed. The M10 in the build for Jibber. Ooh, but the AT gun over here decrewed. Jibber denied, you know, never ended up crewing this. Could backfire on him now. Looks like Findeed's trying to stay aggressive here. He's coming in with the Strug, looking to finish the game off. Got in some trouble, but here comes some infantry. Could get some snares off. Oh, but the Strug from downtown knocks out the Scot. Only managed to get 1 anti-tank grenade off. It's not enough for the engine crit. So the M10, oh, as it arrives, close call. He just runs out of there. Crews the AT gun now, but it's too late. Findeed turns his attention to that. Gonna look for the kill on that now. If Jibber just crewed that earlier, this could be a completely different story, but he left it out there for way too long. It's a little bit under strength. Looks like he's only got 1 bazooka left on that major now. Oh, but Findeed getting too close with the Strug E. And there it goes. Anti-tank grenades finishing it off. Findeed backing off now. Has lost that machine gun, which is a pretty big deal. That was helping him out a lot in terms of territory control. He's got some nice S-mines down the center though. 25 VPs left for Jibber. This is a way that rifle squad, very close call. Bulldozer in here getting to work, but uh-oh. S-mines, a lot of them. Good attack round, and that's one thing that the Brumbier's huge, well, Bulldozer's huge AoE is great for. Just attack rounding away those mines. Capping down the bottom, 10 points left. Coming in, crushing off the rest of them. Could be an idea, we don't see it too often, but plant a dirt barrier on this side of the VP. It's actually quite nice, especially if you've like lost your re-echelon. Can't build tank traps for heavy cover. Can make it a lot easier to cap and hold territory. Even though, you know, bars aren't the best at long range. Being able to sit behind heavy cover makes them a lot more formidable. This Is that regular folk? Oh, the fake smoke.
Enemy forces now
The
have
fake
300
out
points remaining.
from Jibber. Works though, Findeed retreating. Jibber capping. 3 points remaining though, it's quite bad.
There they are. Cover the
Findeed has a lot of manpower floating at this stage. Could afford to go for like a pack, maybe another machine gun.
crowds are
He's up
sniffing
against
around
triple
our
machine
assets.
guns now
That
himself,
convoy
so
being
could also
captured.
consider a mortar perhaps. Stranger's a mortar at this stage, would seem. And 10 here posturing, could get on the rear of the Stug. Indeed, not much support up here. Here comes the Panzer IV now though.
Contact! Enemy armor!
Cheeky 10 shot in there. Major doing some spotting, does have that long range vision since he's vetted up. Stug coming around the corner,
Enemy armor
connecting
flank.
on the bulldozer.
The capture point is under attack.
Oh, good long range shot in there from the P4. 10 bounces. Okay, light artillery barrage on the machine gun. Got this squad going for the capture up here as well. The rifleman not there, but he's slightly out of the capture circle. Stug extending quite far forwards.
Gun crew just got wiped out.
M10 getting some return fire in. Trying to stay pace, but I think he still needs 2 anti-tank grenades to finish off the Stug from there. Panzer IV backing off. MG did get decrewed over here. Got a fresh Panzer IV rolling up. The squad's still not in the capture circle. Jibber tried to get into cover over here, but he's eventually going to lose. Now Findeed just going with everything he has left.
We're losing a
Panzer IV did die to the M10. Jibber managing the ranges on that very well, but all of the machine guns getting decrewed by this Panzer IV now. Findeed did steal this machine gun. M10 popping the speed boost here, getting some shenanigans cooking. Faust about to pop off, and there goes the M10. Grenadiers eventually jump in the capture circle,
a medium tank.
and that's going to be it for Jibber. A valiant fight till the end, but the VP deficit was just too great.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
2 points remaining. One. And that's that. So yeah, overall, very high-paced game here. Very nice to see. I think really it came down to Findeed was making that very aggressive play here, pushing all the way into the base. If Jibber had crewed that anti-tank gun at that stage, it would have been a completely different story. But during that phase, Jibber ended up losing his Scott. And then didn't really get much damage done in return with the counterattack. And from then on, he's just a little bit too far back, trying to scramble on the points, trying to hold on. And that's such a tough position to be in. You're so far behind on the VPs like that. Just one small mistake and you're in trouble. That means you often have to have, units camped out on the VPs for fear of just losing the game on the spot if you lose control of the VPs even for a moment. So yeah, GG, well done there by Findeed. Some pretty strong double anti-tank gun control for, maybe like the first 30 minutes of the game. And that was really boxing out a lot of Jibber's plays. But yeah, nice moves from Jibber with the bulldozer. The vehicle crew swap, pretty nice. He was constantly low on munitions this whole game. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he's always below 100 basically. Always making use of them. Only got to see this maybe used 2 or 3 times throughout the match, but it does make a pretty big difference since it has such long range. But yeah, GG from both players. Well, anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like good game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.